off, left to right across your radio. So Nixon kicks off. Seemed to be knocked forward there by Bishops. So Sherbrooke's got a free one here. Yep, come back for the scrum. So an interesting first half. A little shaky by both teams at the start, but with good tries by both teams towards the last 15 minutes of the first half. So we look for some, well, it's anybody's game right now. Whoever's going to win this game is going to be one that makes fewer mistakes and takes advantage of their opportunities. So Sherbrooke scrum just 35 meters out from their goal line, 15-meter short side. Perron lurking ominously on that short side. Let's see if he gets involved in this. Yep, and there we go. Temporarily picks up. Larry Riviere goes for a run, feeds Perron out there. Wrapped up well by the Bishops tacklers. Fed infield to Sherbrooke forwards. Larry Riviere looking for it, exploring his options. Feeds it out to Rainville. Loose pass though. Rainville's got to try and clean that up. He doesn't want to. I wouldn't want to either. But they've managed to regather. But they've backed up 15 meters from their original point of possession. Larry Riviere kicks upfield. Only a forward chasing. McGovern steps around him with ease. Feeds it back inside to Charlton. Charlton feeds out to Nixon. Big back line out here. Ball in Hudson's feet. Able to regather. Shipped out here. Bray on the near far side wing. Ooh, minor. Almost a borderline high tackle there by Thomas Goulet. He's got it, I think. He's got him for a high tackle. Thomas Goulet, the try scorer from the first half, comes in with a high one here. So decision time here for Bishops. They try to go for three or are they going for the try? They're talking about it. Hudson, Nixon, Charlton having a little conversation. Looks like they're going to go for the try. They're going to run this. Interesting decision. Let's hope it pays off for them. Fed out to Brock Spencer, big hard runner. Real north-south kind of guy. Charlton looking for it. Swings it out to the backs right away. Crawford out there in the backs, feeds Hudson. And a reconstituted back line. Clever play. Sherbrooke, though, well organized, it seems, out there. Wrapped up well, and it looks like knocked forward by White. Yeah, unfortunately, it all comes crashing down. And it's going to be a Sherbrooke scrum. And their scrum's been solid all day. There's no reason to think they won't win it. But interesting decision there. Let's hope it doesn't come back to haunt them. 3 points was on offer there. Eminently makeable kick, and they decided not to. And now it's Sherbrooke put into their scrum, and by all accounts, they should win it. So Larry Riviere to put in. Rainville angling the kick. Yeah, scrum's gone down there. Nothing in it, though. It'll be green ball again. Referee Poupard having a word with the front rows. There's no reason for anything to be going on today. It's not raining. We got good conditions today. There's no wind. It's just a little bit of sun. So the scrum's been reset. Larry Riviere to put in. And Bishops has heeled the ball back. They attack short side. McGovern, their danger man on the short side. Nixon waiting for it. Takes it. Look, sees Crawford out there. Always seems to be on his outside shoulder like a little terrier dog. Charlton feeds back short side. Hudson's got some room to run. Fed back inside. And it looks like they might have got there. Yes, they have. Against all odds. Looks like McGovern's come up with the ball. Hudson and McGovern combining well there. Yep, Hudson and McGovern combining well on that short side. But it all came from that scrum. And that's twice today that Bishop's been able to heel the ball back on Sherbrooke scrums. Despite Sherbrooke's size advantage, it looks like they're missing some technique there perhaps. Or communication between their scrum half and hooker. And in that instance, it paid. It didn't pay for them. And Bishops has capitalized very well. They executed that very well. Working that short side and Now Nixon's got a difficult conversion to make, but that try was very well taken. And Bishops has struck first here in the second half, just 5 minutes in, to make it 12-7 with the conversion to follow. From the far side touchline by Nixon. Nixon with the kick. Solid effort, but didn't quite have the angle right. So after 45 minutes, it's 12-7 for Bishops. So Bishops draws first blood in the second half. Against the run of play, we have to admit it. And Sherbrooke, by all accounts, should have won that scrum, and they'll rue that. So we talked about teams not making mistakes. Well, Sherbrooke's made the first one, and Bishops did capitalize. So Rainville with a kickoff. Kickoff right in the center of the field. Charlton clears it out to the short side. Crawford hands it off. And Sherbrooke looks to have turned this over. Knocked forward there by Green. It's going to be a white scrum when we come back. A little bit of chatter there between some of the players on the ground. Nothing in it, though. Just good old friendly chat. Charlton giving his version of events, but Poupart's having none of it. So scrum here on the Bishops 35. Nixon having a look around, looking at his short side winger. Bray, who seems to be cheating in a little bit. Doesn't look like anything's on the short side. Huge shove by Sherbrooke again. Hudson picks up well, though. Running sideways off the back of the scrum. Able to consolidate possession. Charlton comes back to the short side. Feeds up to Charret, the hooker, who takes it forward. Nixon shaping the kick. And he does so. Yeah, he had a foot in touch there. He tried his best to stay in the field of play, but was not able to. Picard, the winger on the near side, number 11. So it'll be a Bishop's line out here, or sorry, Sherbrooke line out. The touch judge calling Sherbrooke line out, but it should be Bishop's ball as far as I'm concerned. Okay, he's staying with it. So Sherbrooke ball, 5-man line out. Let's see if they're able to, if they've sorted out their lineout issues from the first half. Overthrown and taken to the back by the Bishops player. So Sherbrooke, again, making little mistakes that they can't afford to make, really, if they want to stay in this game. Kicked forward by Nixon. We're inside the Sherbrooke 22. Perreault trying to make up for that last mistake. Steps around a couple of players, cuts in field. Does well. Taken in by Philippe Roy-Couture. A little high, though, and Bishops kept him up, and they've actually turned it over just outside the Sherbrooke 22. Little mistakes. Bishops capitalizing on them right now. Let's see if they can turn this into points. Taken forward by Spencer again. He's made his presence felt in this half already. Nixon feeds out to Crawford, out to Charlton, out to Charret out in the back line. Unknown territory for him, but nice offload to McGovern. He knows what he's doing out there. Ball's recycled well by Bishops, brought back. Nixon goes with a kick through again. Worked well in the first half. This time Perron gets the bounce. Stays on his feet well, waits till the troops arrive. And it looks like he was able to keep possession of the ball. And LaRiviere kicks himself, but it stays in the field of play. He's made it up to the 45-meter line. Ball comes out to Bray. Look, has a run, pins his ears, but goes for a chip kick inside 22. And the Sherbrooke player calls for the mark, but Josh Bray was tackled after he kicked. So Sherbrooke's got the option of penalty where it's kicked or penalty where it landed. They've obviously taken the penalty where it landed. Charlton not going for the 3, going for the try. They're going for the jugular right now. Going for the gusto. They're just 5 meters out on the far side where they scored the previous try. Ball fed back to Nixon. Hudson in midfield. Tries to offload, but taken by a Sherbrooke player. Beg beater. Turnover. Now let's see if Sherbrooke can get out of trouble here. They've been pinned in their own half for most of this half, the last 10 minutes. The only 10 minutes of this half. Ball is fed out. Sherbrooke player going for a run here. I believe it's Perron again, but he loses the ball. Ball's been reclaimed by Bishops. And you'd have to call that a mistake too. You've got to have safe exit strategies. Hudson takes the crash ball through midfield, pops it up very nicely to Crawford on his shoulder. So Bishops on the attack again, just inside the Sherbrooke 22. Nixon dances around with some fancy footwork, able to get past the gain line. Bishops forwards come and set it up. Charlton feeds it out. We've got a good straight run there from Vendramini. Charlton feeds McGovern. Oh no, that's Scott Best in fact. Ball coming out slowly here from this ruck. Charlton looking, exploring his options. Nixon uses Crawford on the inside on a good angle. Great offload there. Oh, one too many offloads. The Bishop's still going after it. They're coming back here. Yeah, they got a knock on there, I believe. By the outside center. Mike Izzard. There's some adventurous stuff there. A great angle. Great angle from Crawford. Running off Nixon. But then the last offload, their last pass was too speculative. We got a Bishops player down there. Receiving some attention. It looks like a substitution has been made or is being made as well. Looks like number 25, Sean Smallwood, has come on. That was Scott Best getting some attention, but he looks to shake it off. The proverbial lower body injury. So with Sherbrooke scrum just 10 meters out from their own goal line, if they're going to get back into this game, they've got to get out of their own territory. And they've made a few too many mistakes in this half. And one of the mistakes they've made is turned into points for Bishop. So let's see if they can keep possession of their own scrum. Looks like they have this time. Ball's fed back to Rainville, who kicks but doesn't find touch. Ball's taken by Scott Best. Runs into the referee. Referee is allowing play to carry on. We got a Sherbrooke player down in the meantime, but a penalty has been awarded to Bishops for hands on the ground by Sherbrooke. But we got a touch judge report here coming into the referee. There's some looks like referee Poupard wants to have a chat with the Bishop's captain and maybe another player, from what the touch judge report said to him. Yeah, the penalty's been reversed. Penalty's been reversed for an off-the-ball incident. It looks like it might have been a high tackle or a tackle away from the play, tackling a player without the ball. So Rainville here looking to clear his lines. Sherbrooke looking to get some territory this half, but he hasn't found touch again. Again, mistakes are costing them dearly. The Sherbrooke or Bishops with a chance to counterattack. Scott Best kicks it right back and gets a good bounce and a touch. Right back where the original penalty was. So Sherbrooke causing themselves some headaches here by not doing basics right at the moment. Let's see if they can get their line out sorted out as well. Another five-man line out here. Rainville having a word with the referee and then going back to his position where he belongs. Okay, knocked forward by Bishops in the lineout, so Sherbrooke gets out of jail there. Again, sloppy lineout play. Taking forward there. Coming on the short side, going 1 meter at a time here. Good defense by Bishops there on Temporelli, who's a big, strong man, a hard man to follow, or hard man to get down. We've got a substitute in there, 23, I believe. André in a scrum half now for Sherbrooke. Looks like Lariviere has shifted to the wing. Looks like because he got a little bit of a knock earlier, I believe. But he's now on the wing. We know he's got a lot of speed, so he can be used. And looks like Best down in back play. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to go on. That little knock he got earlier maybe is more serious than we thought. So that's going to rearrange things. We see Josh Bray coming in the scrum half, a position he's played a lot. So it's not a big adjustment for him and nothing to worry about for the Bishops team. Charlton shifts over to fullback. And a new winger's come on. Could be Ashton Glenn, perhaps. So, Josh Bray in at 9, Charlton at fullback, and a new winger on the short side here for Bishops. Temporelli picks from the base of the scrum. Rainville offloads onto the back line to Goulet. Ball fed out. Hooker goes for a run. Out and back play. Ball taken by Ashton Glenn. Fresh on the field. First touch of the ball. He gets an intercept off a Sherbrooke pass. And now Bishop's looking to keep it. Bray feeds it out. We've got a knock on here by Purple in the end. But enterprising run there by the Sherbrooke hooker, who's found himself out in back play quite a bit. But he did well there. Unfortunately, he passed it to the wrong player. So here we are with the Sherbrooke scrum, just on the Bishop side of halfway. We haven't seen a lot of magic yet from the Sherbrooke backs. Let's see if they're capable of doing something here. They have people who are very capable and very experienced back there. And I see that Thomas Goulet has been substituted, and they've brought in another player for him. And Rainville uses him as a dummy runner. Rainville keeps and goes himself, makes a good 10 meters. Ball fed out to Philippe Roy-Couture. Oh, that looked like it might have been a forward pass. Yeah, he's coming back for it. Poupart spotted it. So it'll come back for a Bishop scrum. So for the first time, we saw some enterprise from the Sherbrooke backs, but it all comes to nothing as they come back for a forward pass at the end. So coaches are starting to use their benches now. Some by some by injury, and some are tactical substitutions with just over 20 minutes left. 12-7, Bishop's leading, of course. But still anybody's game. Nothing's won yet for anybody. So Bray to put in the scrum. Ball went right through the tunnel. They'll do that again. And it looks like Arnaud Fréchet is on for Sherbrooke as well. In jersey 21. And he's another veteran from the Abenaki club who plays throughout the summer. He's a dynamic player out there too. That scrum is screwed a little bit, so they're going to start it again. And a new prop in there too for Sherbrooke in jersey 17, Chamberlain. Bishop scrum holding up reasonably well there. Hudson feeds off to Bray, who kicks up. LaRiviere under it, feels it well. Looks for the space, manages to offload to Perrault. Beg beater, who's a handful out there. He hasn't had a lot of ball today, but ball might come his way now. Taken forward by Lavoie. Rainville sets his back line alight. Out to the hooker in midfield again. But it's gone forward. From Sherbrooke there. Unfortunate. Good defensive tackle there by Bishops in that midfield on the hooker. And that more or less caused the knock on there by Sherbrooke. So a good defensive play there. That's the kind of plays that make a difference. And that's certainly made it just inside the Sherbrooke half now. We've got a scrum to Bishops. And the scrum held up reasonably well. We've got a big short side here. I can see Hudson certainly picking right and using Charlton on this short side. And Bray perhaps even getting involved in that too. The ball heeled back. Scrum is steady for Bishops. In fact, they go left out to Nixon, who drops it. Again, the mistakes. Now Sherbrooke's got it. Let's see if they can do something with it. Players tackled on the far side. Big line out here of players. The new man on the field. Chambellan tries to make a difference. Scrum half picks. That ball's dropped forward, but they'll come back for the original knock-on. Oh, no, advantage was over. Decides referee Poupart. So it'll be a scrum to Bishops. So with 18 minutes to go, the game is basically being played between the two 40-yard marks of each team. It's like neither team wants to venture into the other team's red zone. Of course, if you want to score, you're going to have to. Both teams being very disciplined as well, which is good to see. No one wants to make mistakes. Big shove by Sherbrooke. Hudson cleans up very well. Feeds out to Nixon, who kicks to space in behind LaRiviere, but right into the hands of the fullback, who's got some wheels. He turns the corner, and here he goes. From his own side of half, he kicks forward. Fielded by McGovern inside his own half. Very well played there. Covered by Bishops, but super play by Sherbrooke. And Nixon and the rest of the Sherbrooke players have got to learn from that and not to kick into the arms of the Sherbrooke fullback, who's got electric pace and was able to put it on full display there. Fantastic break by Sherbrooke. And he came up to a wall of Bishop's defenders and had no option but to kick. But just kicked a little too far. And McGovern from the far wing came over and fielded it and called the mark and did very well. And then Bishops cleared it up, or kicked it upfield through Charlton. And here we are with a line out just inside Bishop's half to Sherbrooke. Temporarily can't win it at the front. Hacked back by Bishops. Cleaned up by our new winger, Ashton Glenn. Ball fed out to Charret. Keeping it tight. Ranging a little too wide, perhaps. Bray's there to clean up. Feeds it back to Nixon, who's going to look for some space. He's outside his 22. LaRiviere there, but lets it bounce. Cruel. Good Bishop's bounce. LaRiviere plays it quickly to his fullback. He turns on the Jets again, looking for space. Trying to turn the corner on McGovern. It's a hard thing to do. Well tackled. Running across field, however. Still in his own half. But Sherbrooke's kept possession. Block kick, though, there. But it looks like Sherbrooke still has the ball. Yeah, Bishop's penalized here for coming in the side, though, of the ruck. That ruck was lasting a little too long. It was bound to happen. Oh, and he's just reversed the penalty. Oh, he's reversed it now. He's saying that Sherbrooke players were not releasing. So a few mixed messages there from the referee, but we've got it sorted out. And Bray finds touch nice and deep in the Sherbrooke area, or Sherbrooke end zone. With 15 minutes to go, Bishop's up by 5. No one's out of the woods yet. But if Bishops could score here, even if it's only a penalty kick, they'll be well on their way to winning this game. And Sherbrooke, of course, is going to do what they can to well, obviously not take penalties, but not going to see tries either. So lineout's just outside the 10-meter mark of for Sherbrooke. Charlton to throw in. They still got 5 in the lineout. Sherbrooke doesn't contest. They're just anticipating the drive, and they've set up their defensive wall well. Charlton takes it and peels out, throws a dummy, keeps it 5 meters out now. Sherbrooke coming with a good counter drive. Bishop's able to consolidate. Nixon feeds it out into center field. Backs take it in. Forwards clean it up. Coming to the short side now. Chevret takes it in. Again, still 5 meters out. Yeah, Sherbrooke player offside there, coming to make the tackle. Now decision time for Bishop. So they just kick for the line out again. Try and set that up, or are they going to set up, they're going to run this one. Looks like they're trying to run it. They feed it out to Hudson. Now Bishop's attacking. They're on the 10-meter line. Crawford comes in with a clean out. Big back line out here. Good stepping in there. Again, just 5 meters out. Sherbrooke defense is 6s and 7s. Hudson ready to take it in. Charlton there. Charlton takes it in. Bray cleans it out. Sherbrooke defense holding up here, though. Ball fed out the short side. Oh, looks like they might be barreling over. Referee's not giving a signal yet. He's going to talk to his touch judge first, I believe. It looked like the Bishop's player had grounded the ball, but we're going to have a look and see what the outcome is here after the conversation with the touch judge. But it looked like McGovern might have been in for another. Referee's calling no try. He's coming back for a penalty advantage, though, to Bishops. And again, yeah, offside penalty against the Sherbrooke. So decision time. In my opinion, sensibly, they're going to kick for the 3 points. Because that'll take them more than a converted try away from Sherbrooke, leaving them having to score twice to try and beat them today. So if this kick is made, of course, it'll put them two scores clear. So a lot of pressure here on Nixon, but he's a right-footed kicker on the right side of the field. And he's brought it back about 25 meters. It's about a 30-meter kick with the angle. But again, conditions are good for kickers today. You should be able to make this. And the kick is over. Taking Bishops to 15-7 with 11 minutes to go. Bishops got a little bit of a comfort zone. But you know, Sherbrooke now has, well, they've got nothing to lose. They've got to go for it. They've got to try and stretch that Bishops defense. They've been a little too predictable. And Larry Vieira's coming off. His day is done. And number 20 is on. Runikov. And straight away, the hooker picks up that ball. He's been a dynamic runner today. He's been a force to be reckoned with. Chamberlain in midfield takes that up just inside the Bishop's end. Bishops with a superb counter ruck there. Hudson picks it up from the back. Sherbrooke not committing the guys to the ruck there. Bray clears it out. Some Sherbrooke players kind of in the road there. But so Bray couldn't free the ball as he wanted to. But Bray looking now to get that ball out of there. And Bray kicks over the top, finds some space. And the referee judges that to be a knock-on by Green, so it's going to be a Sherbrooke scrum. So again, little mistakes have crept in. to Sherbrooke's play in the second half, and it's cost them. And with 10 minutes to go, they've got to limit their error count, but they've got to swing for the fences here if they're going to win this game. Yeah, Bishops has done just enough today to be in front. So we got a big short side to work with here. Bishop scrum, about 35 meters out. Charlton and Glenn are on the short side here. I could see Hudson picking and coming short side, but Sherbrooke's won that scrum, and Philippe Roy-Couture, the flanker come winger, is taking it up and taking it well into contact. Sherbrooke's they've got to get some magic here. They need some magic if they're going to get back into this game. They've got to do something spectacular. Ball comes out to Rainville, who punches it through into space. What's the bounce do? It comes right to Nixon, who dodges two tacklers. Finally wrapped up. Bishop's attacking that short side. Looks like they've got numbers out there. Well cut down there. Good tackle. I believe it's Big Beater out there making tackles. It's been a quiet performer all day today. Ball comes out. LT Nixon finds a space in behind. But right to Perrault, the danger man. He looks up and he has no option really but to kick. Keeps it in field, right in Charlton's hands. Charlton shapes the kick, fakes it, goes for a little run. Well tackled from behind, offloaded to a support player, but carried in a touch by a purple player. So it'll be a Sherbrooke line out with 8 minutes to go, with Bishops leading by 8. So Sherbrooke's got to win their line out if they're going to try and get back into this game. They've got to get down the other end of the field. They're not going to be scoring from down here. The throw goes in, and the Sherbrooke throw goes perfectly to Hudson in the line out. So Sherbrooke clearly has some work to do on their lineouts. And they've just mauled it 15 meters up. Well done by Bishops. But it looks like it might have been turned over here in the end. Sherbrooke desperate to get some quality possession here. But they've got the ball, but they're the wrong end of the field. And they're not going to make it going by one-off runners. They're going to have to do something magic. They've got to score twice in the last 7 minutes here. Loose pass there. Picked up there by Charret. Picked up by a Bishops player out in the back line. Crawford picks, runs. Just 50 meters out for the Bishops forwards now. Ball swung out by Brady Charlton. Out in midfield. He's got some big runners out there. Hudson protects the ball well. Ball out to Charlton. Fed out to Nixon. Out to McGovern. Trying to dance around his opposite number. Oh, and he might have dropped it right before the goal line. It looks like he has. He's dropped it right as he was about to score. Sherbrooke tries to scramble a kick and a touch, but they'll come back for the scrum. That could have been the game right there. It might have been knocked out of his hand by someone coming to make the tackle. But that could have been the game right there. But something happened there, and McGovern lost the ball and a meter or two away from the goal line. Let's hope that doesn't come back and haunt them if Sherbrooke somehow manages to in the next 5 or 6 minutes to score a couple of times and snatch this game away from them, as they'll rue that mistake. But in the meantime, Sherbrooke rather is really deep in their end, and they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to win this game. Otherwise, their season is done. And again, Bishops has healed back the Sherbrooke scrum. The referee's bringing it back. I believe he's giving it to Sherbrooke put in again. Maybe the ball wasn't introduced correctly, or The referee wasn't prepared. So it's going to happen again. Sherbrooke gets another bite of the cherry here. Another substitution made. Novello Vautour comes off, and it looks like Durocher has come on. Scrum's got to get reset. Bishops has no problem with this. The clock's ticking. Referee Poupard having a chat with the front row saying we've got to sort this out. I know a lot of you guys are new in here right now, new to this game. But you all know what you're doing. Let's do it properly and get on with it. Ball's fed into the scrum. Sherbrooke scrum holding steady. Temporelli picks. And he makes good yards. Makes a good 10 meters out of that. Ball's fed out to Rainville. Has a look around and sees his back line. Big meter feeds out a little too far in front of Wakutsuru, who knocks it forward. We're going to come back to a Bishop scrum. Just 10 meters out from the, or 10 or 12 meters out from the goal line. In fact, they have options, scrum or line out, so I believe they'll take the line out. I think you could bet your I think you bet your bottom dollar they'll be trying to drive this in. If nothing else, to use up some time on the clock. But yeah. So Charlton to throw. 6-man line out this time. Sherbrooke not looking like they're going to contest at all. Anticipating what's about to come. Ball thrown, but tackler immediately taken down. No ball set up. Ball comes out to Nixon in the back line. Swings it real wide out, straight out to McGovern. Trying to make something out of nothing. Turns the corner, pins his ears back. Gets wrapped up well, offloads. Oh, might have been lost forward there by Ashton Glenn. The far side winger out there to help him out. So Sherbrooke's got the ball back, but with a lot to do. They're going to come back to this. And they kick out of their territory, but it's still in field right to Glenn, who feeds Charlton, who feeds McGovern with acres of space, who kicks into the corner for the chase. Oh, it brought in a touch there. Brought in a touch there, so it'll be Sherbrooke line out. But again, Sherbrooke's at the wrong end of the field. And when it's mattered the most, Sherbrooke hasn't been able to get out of their end. Credit to Bishops. They've been able to pin them down there with some good tactical kicking and some strong phase play. So it's been impressive, an impressive performance by Bishops, certainly in the second half, to limit Sherbrooke's opportunities and to cut down their error rate. They just haven't made a lot of mistakes in this half, and that's really been the difference between the two teams. Sherbrooke trying to maul out of their territory a little bit here. A little too late to be doing this, though. They have to get a lot of points on the board in a short amount of time. It looks like they have a penalty advantage, but they've got to use it and do something with this. Rainville trying to do something on his own. Feeds it out. Still 25 meters out of from their own goal line. They have to be adventurous now. They'll come back for the penalty. They've got to take it quickly. With less than a minute to play on the clock. With less than a minute to play, Bishops like they have this game wrapped up.
There's about a minute on our clock, so say no more than 5 in game time.
Sherbrooke kicks for the line out. Obviously the referee's given, well, there is time for that line out. And this is last chances here for Sherbrooke to get a consolation score before the end of this game. So Galletta throwing the line out, throws it to Temporelli, the front, who's been the main man in the line out today.
Okay, we will do our best to get it in there.
And Sherbrooke peels it off. They're attacking now. They've made 10 meters off the line out. Ball's fed out to the backs. trying to find some space, and they've found it out here for the first time today. Big beater's out there, but he's surrounded by 3 purple players. The Bishops defense is on a mission here. They don't want to concede anything before the end of the game here. Sherbrooke feeds the ball out. Ball's tucked in the arm there, running back style. Too predictable, well wrapped up by Hudson. Scrum half comes on the short side. So time up on the clock here. Sherbrooke's trying to get is desperately trying to get a consolation score here. Trying to keep the ball alive and swinging it out. But a little too harem-scarum. Running backwards now. And here we have our prop forward kicking ahead. Nixon grabs the ball. But the penalty rightly so awarded. The kicker was tackled after he kicked the ball. So Sherbrooke again with one more chance here to try and get some points on the board or get a try before the end of the game. And inevitably, their last play of the season. And Bishops will be the only comfort has at Bishops is that they know they're going to the semifinal. Well, I guess he's giving them time for the line out. Yep. So the Sherbrooke throws in their line out. They win this one. And they're trying to set up that maul. They're just 20 meters out from the Bishops goal line. Trying for one last kick at the can here. And they've got it well organized. It's on the ground here. Trying to take it up 1 yard at a time here. Sherbrooke forwards making some inroads. For the first time this half, they've been down there. Ball's there, ready to be played. Come on the short side, but they're outnumbered, and they've lost the ball. And it's been knocked forward. It's going to be a scrum to Bishops. But that's the game, and Bishops has qualified for the RSEQ men's rugby semifinals by virtue of a 15-7 win today, and congratulations to them. And congratulations Sherbrooke too for a good season. And an exciting game today. For a long time, this was anybody's game. The score was 7-all at halftime, and final score is 15-7 for Bishops, for the Bishops men over Sherbrooke